Chapter 5, Conflicts, addresses the inevitable challenges that arise in relationships and provides insights into how to handle them in a healthy, constructive way. David Richo explores the roots of conflict, its role in relationships, and how it can serve as an opportunity for personal and relational growth if navigated mindfully. Here are the key points from Chapter 5. Working things out. Richo emphasizes that conflict is a natural and unavoidable part of any relationship. Rather than fearing or avoiding it, couples should see conflict as an opportunity to understand each other better and grow both individually and together. The past in the present. One of the main causes of conflict in relationships is the resurfacing of unresolved issues from the past, particularly from childhood. These issues often manifest as triggers in the present, leading to misunderstandings and emotional reactions that are disproportionate to the situation. Men and women. Richo explores common differences in how men and women typically approach conflict, shaped by societal expectations and emotional conditioning. He highlights the importance of understanding these differences while also recognizing that they do not apply universally to all individuals. Introvert or extrovert. Personality types play a significant role in how people deal with conflict. Introverts and extroverts tend to have different styles of communication and emotional processing, which can lead to clashes if partners are not aware of each other's needs and preferences during disagreements. Mindful conflict resolution. The chapter emphasizes the importance of mindful conflict resolution, which involves staying present during disagreements, listening actively, and refraining from reacting impulsively. Richo suggests taking a step back to observe one's emotions and responses before engaging in the conflict. Projection in conflicts. Richo explains that during conflicts, people often project their own unresolved emotional issues onto their partner, attributing feelings or behaviors to them that originate from the person's past. Recognizing and addressing these projections can reduce misunderstandings and emotional intensity. Practices for managing conflict. The chapter offers practical exercises for handling conflict more effectively. These include techniques for staying calm, communicating clearly, and recognizing when past wounds are influencing present reactions. Richo also suggests strategies for cooling down and regrouping when emotions become overwhelming. Conflict as a path to growth. Richo frames conflict as a potential path to growth and healing within relationships. By addressing conflicts mindfully and working through them together, couples can strengthen their bond, gain deeper insights into each other, and foster greater emotional intimacy. Overall, Chapter 5 highlights that conflict is an unavoidable aspect of relationships, but also an opportunity for growth if approached with mindfulness and emotional awareness. Richo encourages couples to view conflict as a way to heal old wounds, improve communication, fears rush in, and dangers too. Explores the emotional fears that often surface in relationships, particularly the fears of engulfment and abandonment. David Richo delves into how these fears shape behaviors, cause conflict, and affect intimacy. He also provides strategies for dealing with jealousy, infidelity, and disappointment in a mindful, constructive way. Here are the key points from Chapter 6. Engulfment and abandonment. Richo describes two common fears that arise in relationships: the fear of being engulfed, losing oneself in the relationship, and the fear of abandonment, being left or rejected. These fears often drive emotional reactions and can lead to behaviors such as distancing oneself or clinging to the partner. Learning from our fears. Richo emphasizes that fear is a natural part of relationships and should be acknowledged rather than suppressed. By recognizing and understanding the roots of these fears, often tied to childhood experiences, we can begin to work through them. The goal is to find a balance where partners can be close without feeling overwhelmed or abandoned. Jealousy. Jealousy is identified as a fear-driven reaction that stems from insecurity and fear of loss. Richo explains that jealousy can be a signal of deeper unresolved issues, such as low self-esteem or a lack of trust in the relationship. He encourages individuals to explore their feelings of jealousy and communicate openly with their partners to address underlying concerns. Infidelity. Richo discusses infidelity as a complex issue, often linked to unmet emotional needs, fear of intimacy, or avoidance of emotional vulnerability. While infidelity can deeply hurt a relationship, Richo suggests that couples can use this crisis as an opportunity for growth, healing, and rebuilding trust if both partners are willing to do the emotional work. Dealing with disappointment. Disappointment in relationships is inevitable as partners realize that no one can meet all their expectations. Richo advises couples to approach disappointment with acceptance and maturity, understanding that every relationship involves both fulfillment and compromise. This realistic perspective helps prevent unrealistic expectations from damaging the relationship. Mindfulness and fear. Richo highlights the importance of mindfulness in managing fears and emotional reactions. By staying present and observing one's fears without becoming overwhelmed by them, individuals can respond more thoughtfully to situations that trigger fear. This approach also helps partners to support each other in moments of vulnerability. Practices for managing fear. The chapter offers practical exercises for confronting and managing fears in relationships. These include reflective practices to explore the roots of one's fears, mindful communication techniques for discussing fears with a partner, and strategies for creating emotional safety within the relationship. Growth through fear. Richo frames fear as an opportunity for growth, suggesting that working through fears of engulfment, abandonment, jealousy, and disappointment can lead to deeper intimacy and a stronger relationship. Facing these fears head on with mindfulness and compassion allows partners to heal emotional wounds and strengthen their connection. Overall, Chapter 6 emphasizes the inevitability of fear in relationships, but encourages readers to use these fears as catalysts for personal and relational growth. Richo provides tools for managing fear-based behaviors and navigating difficult emotions, leading to healthier, more resilient relationships. Explores how the ego, driven by fear, control, and attachment, often interferes with healthy relationships. David Richo explains how letting go of ego-based behaviors allows for deeper emotional intimacy and more authentic, loving connections. He discusses different types of ego and the challenges they present, as well as practices to move beyond ego-driven responses. Here are the key points from Chapter 7. Anatomy of the arrogant ego. Richo describes the arrogant ego as one that seeks to control others, dominate situations, and feel superior. This type of ego is preoccupied with being right, maintaining power, and protecting itself from vulnerability. In relationships, the arrogant ego can lead to conflict, emotional distancing, and a lack of empathy. Anatomy of the impoverished ego. In contrast to the arrogant ego, the impoverished ego feels inferior, unworthy, or inadequate. This type of ego is driven by insecurity and fear of rejection. Individuals with an impoverished ego may seek constant validation from their partner, leading to neediness, dependency, or a fear of intimacy. Balancing the ego. Richo emphasizes that a healthy ego is not about eliminating it entirely, but about finding a balance. The ego serves as a necessary part of our identity, but it must be managed and integrated with self-awareness. A balanced ego allows individuals to navigate relationships with confidence, humility, and openness. Letting go of ego's control. Richo explains that letting go of ego means releasing the need to control outcomes, being right, or protecting oneself from emotional risk. It involves accepting that vulnerability is a necessary part of love, and that relationships thrive when both partners are free to express themselves authentically. Practices for letting go. The chapter provides exercises to help individuals recognize when their ego is dominating their thoughts and behaviors in a relationship. These practices encourage mindfulness, self-reflection, and emotional regulation to break free from ego-driven patterns. Saying yes to reality. A key aspect of letting go of ego is learning to say yes to reality, even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. This involves accepting that not everything will go according to one's desires and being open to life's unpredictability. By accepting the limitations of control, individuals can engage more fully with their partner and the relationship. Ego in conflict. Richo points out that much of the conflict in relationships stems from the ego's desire to win, be right, or protect itself. By letting go of the ego's need to dominate or avoid vulnerability, conflicts can be approached with openness, empathy, and a willingness to find mutual solutions. The riches of ego. While the ego often creates barriers in relationships, Richo also acknowledges that a healthy ego is necessary for self-esteem and personal growth. When the ego is balanced and integrated with self awareness, it becomes a source of strength, helping individuals assert their needs while remaining open to their partner's needs. Mindfulness as a tool. Letting go of ego is made easier through mindfulness, which helps individuals stay present, observe their thoughts without judgment, and respond rather than react to emotional triggers. Mindfulness creates the space needed to navigate ego driven impulses and choose healthier, more loving responses. Mutual ego-less giving. Richo concludes the chapter by emphasizing that true intimacy requires the mutual giving and receiving of love without ego interference. When both partners let go of ego-driven needs, they can connect more deeply and experience love in its purest form without fear, control, or attachment. Overall, Chapter 7 encourages readers to recognize and manage the influence of ego in their relationships. Richo provides tools and insights for letting go of ego-driven behaviors, fostering a deeper emotional connection, and allowing love to flow more freely. When relationships end, focuses on the often painful process of ending a romantic relationship and how to navigate that experience with grace and dignity. David Richo offers insights into the emotional challenges that arise when a relationship concludes, as well as strategies for healing and moving forward. Here are the key points from Chapter 8. Ending with grace. Richo emphasizes the importance of ending a relationship respectfully and mindfully, regardless of the circumstances. Approaching the end with grace involves acknowledging the shared experiences and feelings rather than simply focusing on blame or resentment. Understanding the pain of loss. The chapter explores the natural grief and emotional pain associated with the end of a relationship. Richo underscores that mourning the loss is a vital part of the healing process and should not be rushed or ignored. Accepting reality. Acceptance is a crucial step in healing from a breakup. Richo encourages readers to face the reality of the situation, recognizing that the relationship has ended and allowing oneself to feel the associated emotions fully. This acceptance helps individuals begin to process their feelings and move forward. Letting go of attachments. Richo discusses the attachments and expectations that often accompany relationships. Letting go of these attachments can be challenging, but is necessary for personal growth and moving on. He suggests reflecting on what one has learned from the relationship rather than clinging to what was lost. Working through grief. Grief can manifest in various ways, including sadness, anger, confusion, and even relief. Richo encourages individuals to allow themselves to experience these emotions and to process their feelings in healthy ways, such as journaling, talking to friends, or seeking therapy. Avoiding the blame game. The chapter advises against blaming oneself or the partner for the relationship's end. Instead, Richo suggests focusing on the lessons learned and the growth that can come from the experience. This perspective fosters a sense of empowerment and encourages a more compassionate view of both oneself and the partner. Creating closure. Finding closure is essential for moving on. Richo suggests various practices, such as having a final conversation with the partner, writing a letter expressing one's feelings, even if it is never sent, or engaging in rituals that symbolize the end of the relationship. Self-care and healing. During the healing process, it is vital to prioritize self-care. Richo encourages readers to engage in activities that promote well-being, such as spending time with supportive friends, pursuing hobbies, and practicing mindfulness. Nurturing oneself is essential for recovery. Opening to new possibilities. Richo highlights that the end of one relationship can create space for new beginnings. Embracing the future with an open heart allows individuals to welcome new experiences and relationships, grounded in the lessons learned from past connections. The role of spiritual growth. Richo concludes the chapter by suggesting that the experience of ending a relationship can lead to profound spiritual growth. By reflecting on the experience, individuals can cultivate greater emotional maturity, self-awareness, and compassion, ultimately enriching their future relationships. Overall, Chapter 8 emphasizes that while ending a relationship is often painful, it can also be an opportunity for personal growth and transformation. Richo provides practical insights and strategies for navigating the process with mindfulness and compassion, allowing individuals to heal and move forward with a deeper understanding of themselves and their needs, our commitment and how it deepens. explores the concept of commitment in romantic relationships. David Richo discusses the importance of commitment, the various dimensions it can take, and how it evolves. He emphasizes that commitment is not merely a decision, but an ongoing process that requires nurturing intention and mutual support. Here are the key points from Chapter 9. Understanding commitment. Richo defines commitment as a conscious choice to invest in a relationship and to prioritize it over time. Commitment involves not only staying together, but also actively engaging in the relationship's growth and well-being. The evolution of commitment. Commitment is not static. It deepens as partners navigate their shared experiences, face challenges together, and continue to grow both individually and as a couple. Richo emphasizes that commitment evolves through mutual respect, communication, and shared values. The importance of intimacy. Emotional intimacy is essential for a deep commitment. Richo explains that genuine intimacy fosters trust and connection, allowing partners to feel safe and secure in their relationship. This safety is crucial for the commitment to flourish. Shared values and goals. For commitment to deepen, partners should have aligned values, goals, and visions for the future. Richo encourages couples to regularly discuss their aspirations and ensure they are on the same path, as this alignment strengthens the bond. Navigating challenges together. Facing difficulties and conflicts can enhance commitment when couples work through them together. Richo highlights that overcoming challenges creates a shared sense of accomplishment and reinforces the partnership. Practicing the 5 A's. The chapter reiterates the importance of the 5 A's: attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection, and allowing as foundational elements of commitment. Consistently practicing these qualities helps partners cultivate a nurturing and loving environment, which deepens their connection. Commitment beyond the romantic. Richo emphasizes that commitment extends beyond romantic love. It also encompasses a commitment to personal growth, emotional health, and mutual support. Both partners should be invested in their journeys, as well as the relationship. The role of forgiveness. Forgiveness is crucial in deepening commitment. Richo encourages partners to let go of grudges and resentments, allowing for healing and renewal in the relationship. This act of forgiveness fosters a healthier emotional climate and reinforces commitment. Creating rituals and traditions. Richo suggests that couples can deepen their commitment by establishing rituals and traditions that celebrate their love and connection. These practices can strengthen the bond and create lasting memories that reinforce commitment. The journey of lifelong commitment. The chapter concludes with the idea that commitment is a lifelong journey that requires ongoing effort, communication, and love. Richo encourages couples to embrace the process of deepening their commitment, recognizing it as a fulfilling and transformative aspect of their relationship. Overall, Chapter 9 emphasizes that commitment in relationships is a dynamic process that involves continuous effort and nurturing. Richo provides insights and practical suggestions for couples to deepen their commitment, strengthen their emotional connection, and foster a fulfilling partnership. The conclusion of How to Be an Adult in Relationships by David Richo synthesizes the key themes and insights presented throughout the book, emphasizing the importance of mindfulness, self-awareness, and emotional growth in cultivating healthy, loving relationships. Here are the main points from the conclusion. Integration of lessons. Richo reinforces that the journey toward mature love involves integrating the lessons learned from both personal experiences and relational dynamics. This integration fosters deeper understanding and connection between partners. Mindfulness as a practice. Mindfulness is highlighted as a crucial tool for navigating relationships. By staying present and aware of one's thoughts and emotions, individuals can respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, leading to healthier interactions. Embracing vulnerability. The conclusion emphasizes the value of vulnerability in relationships. By being open about one's feelings, fears, and needs, partners can foster trust and intimacy, allowing for a more profound connection. Continuous growth. Richo underscores that relationships are not static, but require ongoing effort, learning, and growth. Individuals must commit to their personal development and to nurturing the relationship to create a lasting bond. The power of the 5 A's. The importance of the 5 A's: attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection, and allowing, is reiterated as foundational elements for building and maintaining healthy relationships. Practicing these qualities can lead to greater emotional fulfillment and connection. Compassion and forgiveness. The conclusion highlights that compassion and forgiveness are essential for healing and maintaining a loving relationship. Embracing these qualities helps partners navigate conflicts and challenges with grace. Acceptance of impermanence. Richo encourages readers to accept the impermanence of life and relationships. Recognizing that change is a natural part of life allows individuals to approach relationships with an open heart and mind, fostering resilience in the face of challenges. Commitment to love. Ultimately, the conclusion calls for a commitment to love as a practice that requires intention, effort, and mindfulness. By dedicating themselves to love, individuals can create enriching relationships that foster personal and mutual growth. A journey worth taking. Richo concludes with the idea that the journey of love, despite its challenges, is ultimately rewarding. The depth of connection, joy, and personal transformation that can emerge from loving relationships makes the effort worthwhile. Overall, the conclusion of the book reinforces the central message that cultivating healthy adult relationships requires mindfulness, emotional maturity, and a commitment to ongoing growth and connection.